Well, thank you for joining us. This recording has now begun. This is day 2 of our workshop. I'll turn it over to our moderator. Thank you so very much. The floor is yours.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Ambassador Andrew. I'm glad. And I'm also glad to be here for everybody. Guys, thank you for coming today. Yesterday, like I said, yesterday was quite interesting, very informative and very educating. And it was eye-opening because a lot of us, we came with just, void, we're kind of void. We do not know what the program is all about or what the program is going to offer us or what this organization is all about. Okay, so yesterday, the ambassador made us know a lot, about especially WHOPE as a foundation, as an organization rather, that's World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity. He told us about the foundation, the year it was established. If you guys remember, that was 2018. And he also talked about the aims and objective of the organization. And also we got to know a lot about UN Global Compact. And it was quite interesting and very, very educating. So today we're going to continue, okay? But before we continue again, please give me the opportunity to also mention our facilitators again in persons of Honorable Ambassador Andrew Williams, Jr. from the USA. He's been with us all this while. So we're really very grateful to have you. And then Dr. Janice Da Silva from Cabo Verde. Dr. Janice also addressed us yesterday. And Chaplain James Mercy Obatimibi from Nigeria. He also, spoke and addressed us yesterday. And the session was quite interesting with, the three of them. And today we're going to continue from where we stopped yesterday. So I hope you guys come with your open mind. I hope you're open-minded to learn and also unlearn and to take a lot home. And as at the time we finished yesterday, I was really very impressed and happy because a lot of people, spoke about their intentions, what the training, what the workshop has taught them, and the different ways they can also help to impact, to contribute to the sustainability, development goal of the world generally, and how to contribute to the development of humanity in the whole, whether you want to do it privately, personally, or you want to, join an organization like WHOPE. Okay, so you guys are welcome. Now, let me quickly introduce, the participants know about one or two things that I have already mentioned yesterday to them, which is very important because while you're here, you need to know that there are some things you have to put in place, some rules and regulations you need to follow in order for this workshop to be a success, because it's about your cooperation and our cooperation. Okay, so please, like it is said, it is very important for you to put your full name, register with your full name as you're coming in. Please change your device name to your name. And also, once you do that, that is the name we're going to use for your certificate. Okay, just like Pastor James said yesterday, you do not want your certificate to carry the name of your device. Okay, so please, everyone should always mute themselves. And this, I was really impressed yesterday because you guys really did so well, muting yourselves and putting up your hand, raising your hand whenever you wanted to say something. And then, please, I need you to put your questions in the chat box. Put your questions in the chat box because I noticed that a lot of people didn't do that yesterday. I'm hoping that today you would have been a little bit well settled, putting, your requests and whatever it is that you want to know or your contributions to the chat will also be very great. We want to hear from you too. We want to hear from you and also your contribution. Okay, so thank you for listening to me. I am going to then hand over to the ambassador now to continue from where he stopped yesterday in educating us. So, Honorable Ambassador Andrew Williams Jr., thank you so much. It's a privilege, and I'm welcoming you back again to continue to address us. We are so glad to have you and want to hear from you again today. Thank you for being with us. Please, over to you.
Thank you very much. Again, thank everyone for joining us here. I am having video challenges, but I'm going to share my screen and give you a background of where we are. Again, this is an open book test. And today we are, in fact, addressing the second day of the workshop, focused on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And technology is only great when it works. So give me just a moment here to adjust my screen. I'm here as the president of 5 Points Youth Foundation in the United States of America. But our co-coordinators are Chaplain James Mercy Obentumidi of the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity, also Dr. Janice Da Silva out of Cabo Verde. Just to give you a background, it was in 2019, on September 21st, the International Day of Peace, when Janice Da Silva and I decided that we would do more in our work globally as Goodwill Ambassadors. We co-founded the ad hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors, and we're proud to have Ambassador James as one of our first ambassadors. But the idea is to do more than just work locally. The idea was to work globally, and we decided to localize the Sustainable Development Goals. We're beginning this morning with a continuation of our discussion about the United Nations Global Compact. Again, this is an open book test. You don't have to worry about us telling you something that you can't find out about yourself. But we're going to give you a background today on where things got started. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen. And I'm going to make sure you know that you can find out everything I'm telling you right now online on my website, andrewnetworks.com. So please, if you could, into your chat, or into the chat, we're going to type in information for you. But on my website, you'll find the background of where we are, where we began with the United Nations Global Compact. I'm going to now share my screen and give you a background on this organization.
As a human family, we've had an enormous wake-up call to how connected we are with a tiny little virus that comes along and shuts us down.
We all live in this world together. The same blood flows in me and any other person.
We're facing the challenges of an ecosystem that is stressed.
Things are not moving as fast as they should. Things are improving, but not as fast as they should.
The challenges that we are facing, they are materializing so fast that it's not only my children or grandchildren which will experience the consequences if we fail.
To do it, we need to do it together. Collaboration, north, south, east, west, black, brown, white. Strength in the diversity of the human family is what we need right now to get us past this incredibly difficult time. Might sound like it's impossible, but that's what we work towards, making the impossible possible.
20 years ago, a small group of United Nations and business leaders came up with a visionary proposal.
I propose that you, the business leaders here gathered in Davos, and we, the United Nations, initiate a global compact of shared values and principles which will give a human face to the global market.
I always say part of Kofi Annan's genius was he invited business, but he also addressed civil society and labor organizations.
The mission of the United Nations Global Compact is to mobilize companies around the world to align their operations and strategies with 10 universal principles in the areas of human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption.
The UN represents the body that aims to drive international cooperation and drive peace and security for humanity. And I think it unifies all of society around this set of 17 goals.
Our objectives cannot be met if the private sector doesn't play a fundamental role. And so the Global Compact is a platform in which all those businesses that abide by the principles of, and values of the United Nations and of the Charter to work together, representing the best of humankind.
For the last 2 decades, the initiative has grown to encompass local networks in more than 60 countries, engaging directly with over 10,000 companies.
The local networks are our global footprint around the world, and they work with us to translate the 10 principles as well as the Sustainable Development Goals into actionable pieces of work for businesses globally.
It is so decided.
Since 2015, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Climate Agreement have provided the most powerful common agenda that the world has ever seen, with an essential role spelled out for business.
L'accord de Paris pour le climat est accepté.
Any business that continues to operate under its own self-interest will not be around very long. Businesses that have a strong purpose, that understand how they can make society better, will be embraced by society and will be around for a long time.
Be the change that you want to see in business.
I truly believe that companies who do not put sustainability, the SDGs, in their strategies, they're going to disappear.
The mindset of consumers has changed. They increasingly want to buy from companies that are contributing to society as a whole.
Business must be part of the solution in when we address these big global problems.
The focus has shifted to both the short term and the long term, both doing well and doing good, making profits and making a change. This is a reality of the world now. Leaders need to lead sustainably.
The United Nations Global Compact is leading the transformation ahead, challenging companies to take more ambitious action on the Sustainable Development Goals.
I think it's absolutely impossible to face the challenges of today, the very quick change that is happening, without having the youth leading the way and helping us define the right strategies, the right policies, the right approaches to address the global problems.
The world is waking up, and change is coming whether you like it or not.
The world today has got more opportunities than it has the challenges that can be overcome by the opportunities that we have.
You find people in the most desperate of situations, determined to fight for a better future. That's the kind of world I want.
What have changed in a very short period of time is that the narrative is different, and that is fantastic.
If you want to have a good business, you have to mobilize people. A business is a sum of people working to something.
More and more people realize that sustainability is really about making the pie bigger, better, and more inclusive.
I hope in the future all businesses in the world will think about their own purpose. Business can only exist when they have a purpose.
We've got to show progress. We've got to reverse what's happening.
I see the Global Compact as an incredible organization
working together with businesses to build a more sustainable world. We are united across the globe, for the globe. We're united despite our challenges, no matter how daunting the task may seem. We are united by possibilities because this is bigger than one business, because we are better together. We all have the same job. We are united in the business of a better world.
Thank you very much. I want to make sure you have an understanding that what we're doing here has much more impact than what you're doing in your local area. It has a worldwide impact. You also need to understand that what you do locally can only be connected to the world when you understand what's already going on in the world. I do want to allow anyone here to put your information in the chat. We will be taking this opportunity to have a question and answer period, but I do want to know if Pastor James is here and wants to make the announcements before we proceed. Or moderator, I'll turn it over to you to see if Pastor James is here and if you'd like to make a formal opening. If not, I'll proceed.
Pastor James, are you here?
No worries, he may be in a loud place. I'll continue and we'll follow up this brief introduction, or we'll follow up this with a Q&A session. But anytime Pastor James gets here and he would like to make an announcement, just let us know and we'll turn it back over to him. I'm going to share my screen once again.
I'm here, Ambassador Andrew, but we can go ahead with our program.
Very
I don't have anything to say for that. All right.
Oh, okay, very good. Thank you so much. I'm going to share with you another brief video. Again, you can find this at andrewnetworks.com. All these videos are available. And now we're going to discuss the Sustainable Development Goals. Just a moment, please.
The United Nations is an organization with goals of peace and sustainable development around the world. Their mission is huge, but we're breaking it down in 2 minutes. 17 sustainable development goals. Let's get to them, cause the more you know. Look, in some corners of the world today, people are living on $1 a day. Hey, that's not how it ought to be. So goal 1, eliminate poverty, and goal 2, root out hunger across the globe. There's 800 million people hungry if you want to know. Number 3 is health and well-being, and getting people the health care that they need in. Learning in school are the hard to go for. Education opens up minds and doors. Goal number 5 is empower girls and women so they can have the same rights that men are given. Number 6, people need water that's clean. Poor sanitation can spread disease. Carbon-free energy is goal number 7, and how to achieve it is a question that's pressing. But if we put our minds together and work hard, we can find a solution, I'm guessing. 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it. 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it. Now imagine that you work all day for no pay. Economic growth and decent work is goal 8. Goal number 9 is to foster innovation in infrastructure and industrialization. Goal number 10, inequality reduction. 11 is sustainable city construction. 12, well, that's sustainable consumption. So what we use matches up with production. Goal 13 calls for urgent action to combat climate change, cause we know it's happening. 14, protect life under seas. 15, protect life on land. Goal 16 machine is for peace and justice. All over the planet, they're in high demand. And the final goal, number 17, is the critical factor, the heart of the machine. It's the strength in the way we achieve these goals of sustainable development around the globe. Yo, 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it. 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it.
Thank you very much for your attention. This is the second workshop in a series. Last week, we began with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. This week, we're launching on the United Nations Global Compact. This is an ongoing discussion for everyone here. It's educational, but also it's intended to allow all of us to become more familiar with what these 17 Sustainable Development Goals are. One of the easiest ways to do that is to understand that you can break down these goals into groups. So you don't have to be concerned about trying to remember all 17 goals. The objective here is for you to determine which of the goals you are actually working in. What is the one that you are most involved with and have the most activity with? It's important because only then are you able to engage yourself with those other organizations that are dedicated to the very same things. So yesterday or last week, we broke down the 17 Sustainable Development Goals into 3 separate levels. The first level deals with the first 10 Sustainable Development Goals, dealing with people. The second level dealt with ecology, and the third level dealt with the spiritual. So there is, in fact, a website called sdgpyramids.org, the Happiness SDG Pyramid that we discussed last week. It's important every week that you pay attention to which areas your activity has an impact on. Again, what we're doing is not just working from a blank sheet of paper. There are actually ongoing strategies created by the United Nations Global Compact to address these issues. On the left, you'll see UN Global Compact Strategy for 2021 through 2023. On the right, you'll see UN Global Compact Africa Strategy for 2021 through 2023, mobilizing African business for impact. Again, even though you are a part of a non-governmental organization, you must work and function as if you're a viable business operation. There's no way that we can help you unless you are willing to help yourself. Again, I'm suggesting that we all take the time to go to andrewnetworks.com for any information that you want to review about what we're doing here. And just to take a moment to give you a station identification, you can reach me at andrew@andrewnetworks.com. There was an introduction provided yesterday, which I appreciated. But in addition to the people here, we're also streaming this to our AHIABGA-TV network, also to the WHOPE page. So today, just for those that don't know, we are part of Andrew Networks. Andrew Networks represent a wide range of humanitarian causes and commercial enterprises championed by myself as Chief Executive Officer of the PAR-XTC Export Trading Company as a way to attract, requalify, indemnify, and expand strategic international business alliances that accelerate the awareness and achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. So the work I do in the humanitarian field is supported by work I do in the commercial field. Again, you can find me online, Andrew Williams Jr. And I need to let you know that this is not an idea that I just began right now. I've been doing this for at least since 2009, when I was first appointed as one of the first Facebook ambassadors. You see me use the title Honorable Andrew Williams Jr. And you can find me on Facebook. My public pages, Ambassador Williams or Honorable Andrew Williams Jr. I'm the CEO. Now, again, I'm asking you to go to andrewnetworks.com and you can find information out about my organization in the background, because we're going to be asking you to reach out to your contacts in the United States and around the world that are part of the diaspora. When I speak of the diaspora, I'm talking about the diaspora that the African Union uses as its definition. Its definition is that a member of the diaspora is anyone that's born outside the continent of Africa who aligns themselves with the constitutive acts of the African Union Agenda 2063. And in that regard, even though I'm here in the United States, I am part of that diaspora. But these 17 Sustainable Development Goals are what brought us here. I'm going to walk us through what they are for those of you that did not have an opportunity to dig deep into it, and for the new people here. Goal number 1, no poverty. The intent is to end poverty in all its forms everywhere on Earth. Again, you can go to globalgoals.org or come to Andrew Networks. Goal 2 is zero hunger, to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Goal 3 is good health and well-being. The intent is to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Number 4 is quality education. You can ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Goal 5 is gender equality. Achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Goal 6 is clean water and sanitation to ensure the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Goal 7 is affordable and clean energy to ensure access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable and modern energy for all. Goal 8, decent work and economic growth to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Goal 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Goal number 10, reduce inequalities. Reduce inequality within and among countries. Goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Goal number 12, responsible consumption and production to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Goal number 13, climate action. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Goal 14, life below water. Conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and maritime resources for sustainable development. This does include the rivers in your local communities and your own sanitation and water systems. Life on land. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. Goal number 16, which is very important to the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity, because it addresses peace, justice, and strong institutions. The intent is to promote peaceful and inclusive policies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. And finally, goal number 17, strengthen the need of implementation and revitalize global partnerships for sustainable development. So again, those are the 17 sustainable development goals. You can find them all at globalgoals.org, or also go to the website andrewnetworks.com. Additional information at any time you want to be able to find out more about what we're discussing here. Give me just a second here. Technology is only great when it works, and I'm having challenges to get my screen back. Okay, so thank you so very much for allowing me to give you a background on the Sustainable Development Goals. There is an important reason why we decided to focus on the United Nations Global Compact for this week's discussion. And I'm going to share my screen once again. On the right-hand side, you'll see a map of the world. At the top, you'll see let me see here just a moment. I apologize. In my screen, I see that I'm having a black box at the bottom of the page. So I'm going to change this to, I think, be able to hide the captions. Yes. Okay, that should take that out. Okay. Just a moment, please. So I hope now you can see all of my screen. In the minute, the block in the middle will disappear. So today's event is being sponsored by the AHIABGA-TV network. I mentioned to you earlier that AHIABGA is an acronym for the Ad Hoc International Board of Goodwill Ambassadors. And Pastor James is a part of our organization. We're providing this platform for WHOPE to be able to assist him in reaching out to you who may become volunteers for HOPE So we wanted to let you know that what you're doing has, as I said before, impacts not just in your local community, but globally. For those of you who cannot read my screen, I'm going to read to you the information here. At the top of the page, you'll see that 5 Points Youth Foundation is a member of the United Nations Global Compact. And we do support the Sustainable Development Goals. So 5 Points Youth Foundation and associates advocate the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact via local networks respecting human rights and indigenous rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption via the AHIABGA-TV network channels. And this is, in fact, being broadcast, live streamed, not just to WHOPE, but also to our New World Network channel that streams to 100,000 subscribers around the world. We mobilize interfaith, nonprofit, academic, and business collaboratives, localizing the Sustainable Development Goals, building community resiliency networks of safe and sustainable communities and cities, as SDG 11, taking climate action, SDG 13, pursuant to Habitat 3 New Urban Agenda, using the FEMA Integrated Whole Community Approach, Envision 2030, and for here in Los Angeles, the Sustainability Plan, Los Angeles County Sustainability Plan, and United Nations Global Compact 2021 through 2023. So I'm urging you to begin to think about ways you can include this kind of language in your own mission statement and also on your own website and your promotional materials to let other people know that you are focused on one or more of the Sustainable Development Goals. We form strategic alliance collaboratives via the Sustainable Development Goal 1717 that encourages and promotes effective public, private public, and civil society partnerships that enhance the global partnership for sustainable development, complemented by multi-stakeholder partnerships that mobilize and share knowledge, expertise, technology, and financial resources to support the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals in underserved communities and for people with unmet needs. You can reach me at Andrew Williams Jr. 777@gmail.com in my role as president of 5 Points Youth Foundation. At the bottom of the page on the left-hand side, you'll see the contact information for 5 Points. But in the middle, you'll see BEMA, the Black Emergency Managers Association International. On the right, the New World Network. These are the sponsors of today's workshop and our continuing activities for the rest of the decade for people for the decade to deliver action on the Sustainable Development Goals. As I said, on the right-hand side, that top map where you see the light colors, the green colors, those places are the least likely where people would die from the adverse impacts of climate change. But the global south, including Africa, where you see the darkest part of the map, that shows where the most people are likely to die from the adverse impacts of climate change. In the bottom map, the light the light places show where there's the least number of United Nations Global Compact local networks. And you'll see that Africa has the least number of all the continents on the earth. So what we're asking you to do is to learn more about what the United Nations Global Compact strategy is and how it actually works for your local community. If we have your email address, we will also send out this booklet to you. On the left-hand side, you'll see that these 17 Sustainable Development Goals are also adapted for people with disabilities like me. Although you see me looking strong and handsome and bright and cheery on the screen, in the background, I'm disabled, unable to walk, and I do have unmet needs. So I've been in denial for that for quite a lot of years, but I'm asking you to understand that it's important for us to adapt these 17 sustainable goals also for people with disabilities. The only way we're going to achieve the SDGs to leave no one behind is to work with those who are most vulnerable and those with unmet needs, so that what we do can have a major impact on them as well. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the African Sustainable Development Map. It's important that you understand that while many people in the world may have a negative idea of the ability of Africa to be important on the world stage, the opposite is true. It is, in fact, Africa that put together the Common African Position on the Post-Millennial Development Goals strategy in 2012 for the entire continent. Africa had the largest region that submitted an integrated plan to the United Nations, and that became the basis and foundation for what we now know as Agenda 2063, and also the Sustainable Development Goals. On the right-hand side, you'll see the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, but at the bottom of your screen, in purple, you'll see the 2063 goals for the African Union. So I say this to you to say that you have to take responsibility for understanding that, again, the work you do on a local basis does have global impact. So today's workshop is the second day of us discussing the United Nations Global Compact and the 10 principles. This booklet that I'm sending you will allow you to just click on a link, and it will take you to the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact, which is online and available to you anywhere around the world. I'm looking at my screen, and it seems that you are not able to see this. So give me just a moment. I'm going to stop sharing here and try to reshare my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. So again, this is the, hide this. This is online, and this is the UN Global Compact, and it talks about what its missions and principles are. There are 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact. Again, these are primarily focused on business operations, but time and time again, I have to ask you to consider that your non-governmental organization has to also function as a business in order for you to get the funding, resources, and support you need from major businesses that are also committed to accomplishing the Sustainable Development Goals and who are members of the United Nations Global Compact. As review, these 10 principles are derived from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the International Labor Organization's Declaration on Fundamental Principles and Rights at Work, the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development, and the United Nations Conventions Against Corruption. I'm going to briefly go over these 4 pillars and these 10 principles, and we will move to conclude today's presentation after this. So human rights as the first foundation is that businesses should support and respect the protection of internationally proclaimed human rights. Again, you can simply go and click on this link, and it will take you into a deeper dive. So for example, on principle 1, businesses should support and respect the protection of internationally proclaimed human rights. But what does this mean? The principle sets out the UN Global Compact's overarching expectation of business on human rights, namely to respect and support human rights. Respecting human rights means a business should use due diligence to avoid infringing human rights, to do no harm, and should address adverse human rights impacts with which they're involved. In addition, beyond respecting human rights, business is encouraged to take action to support human rights. This means seeing the opportunity to take voluntary action to make a positive contribution towards the protection and fulfillment of human rights, whether through core business strategies, social investment, philanthropy, public policy engagement, advocacy, and/or partnerships, and other collective action. And this is where you come in. This is where your non-governmental organization that's working in the area of human rights can reach out to those other organizations and businesses who have that as part of their corporate social responsibility. Principle 2, businesses are encouraged to make sure they're not complicit in human rights abuses. What does it mean? Complicit means being implicated in human rights abuses that another company, government, individual, or other group is causing. The risk of complicity in a human rights abuse may be particularly high in areas with weak governance and/or where human rights abuse is widespread. However, the risk of complicity exists in every sector and every country. Principle 3, businesses should uphold the freedom of association and the effective recognition of the right to collective bargaining. Principle 4, the elimination of all forms of forced and compulsory labor. Principle 5, the effective abolition of child labor. And Principle 6, the elimination of discrimination in respect of employment and occupation. The third pillar is environment. Principle 7 asks businesses to support a precautionary approach to environmental challenges. Principle 8, undertake initiatives to promote to promote greater environmental responsibility. And Principle 9, to encourage the development and diffusion of environmentally friendly technologies. And finally, Principle 10 involves anti-corruptions. And that's two parts of that. One, businesses should work against corruption, including extortion and bribery, but also to promote transparency in their business operations. So these are the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact. We'll be asking each of you at the conclusion of this to be able to name at least the 4 major pillars. And this is an open book test. You can take time now to do this research on your own so that when we end up, we'll all be on the same page. But this is intended for us not to just be a workshop that you can take your certificate in and then you decide, well, that was a nice workshop, but what does it mean to my everyday life? The idea is for you to understand that what we're doing here is providing you tools and resources so that you can right now become involved with activities happening in your local community. I'm going to share my screen once again. Many of the participants here are from Nigeria because, of course, that's where the World Humanitarian Organization is located. It's very simple for you to understand that there are already ongoing activities that address these very same issues. You can go to nigeria.un.org to find where there is online a description of how the country of Nigeria is already working to address these 17 Sustainable Development Goals that we just reviewed. It's important for you to understand that activities that we're doing has impacts not only in your local community, but also for the entire country. On this website, you'll find a map of all the locations where there are ongoing activities. It's important for you to identify where these are. But in the middle, you'll see an orange dot. That's the dot that includes the entire country. So you'll be able to show how what you're doing, no matter where you are in Nigeria, it has an impact on one or more of these ongoing activities that the United Nations itself is supporting. If you can see my screen now, however, you need to understand that there is a direct linkage between the work of the United Nations and the work of the African Union. I don't need you to think that what I'm telling you is because it's something that came out of the United States. It has nothing to do with you. This has something very much to do with your life and your blood and the future of the people on the African continent. For those of you who may or may not know, Agenda 2063 was launched to allow the continent of Africa to focus on 12 flagship projects for the continent and 5 legacy projects for the diaspora. In 2013, they launched the first 10-year implementation plan of the African Union Agenda 2063. Just last month, in October, there was an executive council that held a meeting on the second decade of action for Agenda 2063. These are representatives of the entire continent of Africa and the executive council that represents the interests of the people on the ground. How many of you knew about this meeting? How many of you know that you have a local representative that attended? How many of you will know what plans they come out with? It's so important that you get engaged with activities that are already happening that impact many more communities than just the one you're working in. But unless you tell your story, no one else will know what it is. So as I move to concluding today's presentation, I'll ask if you can put your information in the chat for any questions, and I'll turn it back over to the moderator to allow us to move towards closing today's session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ambassador Andrew. That was really nice and exciting news, actually. And I'm sure that everybody is also excited. We're all here, and I know that each and every one of us has 1 or 2 roles to also play, and everybody will start acting now. Okay, it's time for action as individuals to see also what we can do, how we can contribute to this global sustainability. So now let's see. I want to see if Chaplain is here. He's already here. I want to see if he has 1 or 2 things to say to the participants, to the volunteers. Chaplain. Chaplain James Mercy, are you here with us? Okay, so while we wait for him, because I know that he's, he has this very positive energy. He has a way of gendering our participants to also want to participate. Okay, so guys, I know you have a lot of questions at the back of your mind. You have a lot of things to say, and then you also want to know, you're curious, you want to know how you can contribute, the medium through which you can. I know that Ambassador has already said all that, how you can contact him, different ways. So if you have any questions to ask him, this is the time. You can send your questions to the chat now. I'm checking it, and then we will see it, and the ambassador can get it done for us. answer each questions. Please put your questions in the chats, guys. Please put your questions in the chats. And then in case you want to say something verbally, you want to talk, please put up your hand, raise your hand, use the hand raise icon so that we can see you and then we'll call you to talk. Please, we're waiting. We need active participation. Okay, we need active participation. I do not want to believe that we're all here and then we're just listening. We don't have anything to say. We don't have anything to contribute to. Please do justice to that. Put up your hand and let me see you while you're here. And if you do not do that, I'll be forced to start calling names. Okay, guys, please, I also, please do not forget that the ambassador took his time, took his time to explain, to educate us about this workshop, this program, what we have to, how we can contribute, and also what we have to gain, how, we can gain from our selflessness, okay? So if he has done that for us, then why can't we also do justice to it? Let him know that we're following him, okay? It's a way of showing appreciation for the time he's given to us, okay? So let me start with, okay, Gabriel, thank you. So you can unmute yourself and we're all ears. Okay, Gabriel, can you unmute yourself? Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank Ambassador Andrews a lot for this wonderful training that he was carrying on for the past 1 week, and now I want to appreciate him so much. He has throwing more light and opening our eyes to a lot of things that we don't know, and the way we can leverage a lot and be a good volunteer in the organization. I want to say so much thank you to him. I want to also thank our chaplain for bringing on board this training, to give us a sense of belonging and know our what we have come to do in WHOPE. I want to say a big thank you to him. And then I want to start speaking on about our own country with regards to the Sustainable Development Goals, and how in our Nigeria, how we can be able to convey to our government and our leaders that are not really doing much about sustainable SDG number 1, that is no poverty. Because we know that our president in Nigeria will still have a minimum wage to be at the level of 30,000 naira for the rest of workers. And if you look at that amount of money, it is quite still below the poverty line. Okay, a dollar now in Nigeria is 1,000 plus. So, and then if you calculate that 30,000 naira, it's less than 1,000 naira per day. So, which is living below poverty. So it means that the majority of Nigerian workers are still living in poverty. So I think that basically our nation Nigeria is failing in SDG 1. And I saw that Nigeria is a signatory to that the UN Sustainable Development Goals. A signatory to it. So I want to know exactly how can we be able to convey this to our government and make them to understand that they are not doing much at present. This is a very key goal that needs to be addressed very urgently. All right. If you still say that we belong to the United Nations and we are signatory to the SDG goals, that this is the primary goal that needs to be addressed so urgently. All right, so that things will be put in place. People are dying of hunger. A lot of civil servants are committing suicide. So some few weeks ago, a teacher committed suicide because he cannot pay his bills. So this is a serious issue. And last year alone, more than 79 Nigerians committed suicide because of the level of poverty in the country. So please, I want to know how we can be able to convey to our leaders, our government, If the United Nations themselves will have to come into this and have to address the situation in this country. Thank you. That is what I want to chip in this afternoon. Thank you, Lee.
Yes, thank you for your question. I do appreciate that. And the answer is very simple. Begin with the understanding that we are all human beings and we all have human rights. And one of those rights is number 29, which is responsibility. It is your responsibility to find out what is already happening in your country to address these issues, and then, of course, hold accountable those leaders that are representing our interests. But in terms of today's presentation, I will briefly share my screen again and direct you to LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, you do, in fact, have the United Nations Global Compact Network Nigeria quarterly newsletter. This tells you what activities are already happening in your country that your leaders are claiming that they're doing what we have. You have to educate yourself to find out what they're claiming to do, and then you have to find out ways your organization, can join with others to bring attention and also influence on the decision. For example, as you can see, and I'll read to you, this year on Thursday, September 21st, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company officially joined the United Nations Compact. This took place during the opening of the 2023 Global Africa Business Initiative, a two-day event enhancing Africa's position in the global economy and promoting the continent as a prime destination for business, trade, and investment. There is no way to address poverty unless you involve not just your government, but also your businesses. Right now in Nigeria, your biggest companies are those that are producing oil and petroleum. You now have the Nigerian National Petroleum Company that just joined the United Nations Global Compact. What I'm saying to you is that you can find this information out. The signing ceremony was organized by Naomi E. Nokoloko Esquire. She is the executive director of the UN Global Compact Network in Nigeria. It's up to you and your organization and all of us to join together so that when we have a problem, we stand up as a united front so that those members that are attending this workshop can join with the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity as a group, and then take your concerns to the top of the decision-making channel. You cannot get anything done when you're talking to the people that are carrying out instructions. You need to either be at the table or you will continue to be on the menu. So again, this information is freely available. We're trying to encourage you to use your telephones as something more than just being a consumer. Become a producer. You can reach out, get this information, and then act on it. But you cannot act alone. The entire intent of the outcome of today's meeting is for us to all identify which of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals we have an interest in. Yours is number 1, poverty. We have right now 35 people on the line. We have to organize ourselves to determine which is the main goal we want to focus on, and then we have to put our efforts into representing our interests as a collective group and not as individuals. Again, this information is freely available online. Almost everyone here is a member of the LinkedIn platform. If your organization is not a member of the LinkedIn, then you need to establish your own footprint so that you can become involved with the conversation and become involved with the global conversation and not just your local conversation. Again, this is a release that's sent out to anyone that's on their newsletter. You have to register to be on their newsletter in order for you to be able to get into the conversation about what's happening in your local community. This entire newsletter that I'm sharing with you is available online 24 hours a day. You can do your homework after this workshop. This workshop is only intended to provide you with tools and resources so that you can find out how you can, again, put the power of our collective action behind our efforts. What I'm hoping that will happen is that those of us here today will find out how, again, what we are actually doing can have an impact on people that are making decisions for the rest of our lives. It would take me an entire hour to go over just this one newsletter that talks about what's happening in your local community that's being organized by the United Nations Global Compact. So the short answer is get involved. I hope that answers your question.
All right, sir. Yeah, that's okay. I understand. That is collaborating with other agencies to fight our battle. That is what I get from your response, sir.
Okay.
Right, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Back to you, moderator.
Thank you very much, sir, for that explanation. Right, and I'm actually happy because I feel that question was asked on behalf of a lot of us, almost, let's say, everybody here from Nigeria, because it's a border, it's a concern the way it's going. But I actually still believe that, coupled with what the ambassador said, I believe that we can also try in our own little space to, push ourselves. The more we push ourselves, the more we try to contribute, maybe add value, skills to, our lives. That's how we can also help ourselves, and by helping ourselves, we can also help our neighbors, other people around us, and thereby helping the society at large. Okay, because it's obvious that probably it's not everything the government can, answer for us or can do for us. So we need to stand up to also do some things for ourselves as individuals. Okay, and this medium is actually part of the ways we can do that. We can also achieve that. Okay, thank you so much for the question. And thank you, Ambassador, for that good explanation and that answer. That was good. Okay, so is there anybody who also wants to contribute or ask questions further? We should have at least 1 or 2 persons more before we go today. 1 or 2 persons more.
Well, no worries.
Thank
Just
you.
a moment. I think it's important thank you so much. Excuse me, please. If I may, I'm going to share my screen to give you right now information about ways that we can move forward. And again, the first way is to educate yourself about what is actually happening. I'm going to, again, just go to this website and invite all of you to go to unglobalcompact.org. This is not a hard address to remember, unglobalcompact.org. But when you go there, you'll find that you can click on this link to engage locally. When you go there, you will find out that there is, in fact, an entire list of all of the global compacts around the world. For Africa, there is, in fact, one individual that's responsible for the entire continent of Africa. And that information is right here and available. In Africa, there are more than 1,000 companies and non-business private sector stakeholders who are participating in the Global Compact against 45 countries. Again, you have the information here where you can actually find out what is already happening in your local community. Among the local networks, you will see that you have Angola, Botswana, Central Africa, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Egypt, Francophone West Africa, Ghana, Kenya, Mauritius, and the Indian Ocean region, Morocco, Nigeria, Rwanda, South Africa, Tanzania, and Tunisia. Simply go there and click on your country. In Nigeria, you can find out that this was launched in 2006. Right now, there are only 138 participants, but again, there's one person, Naomi Lokolo, who's the executive director, and her email address is right there to make the contact. You can find out there are different kinds of organizations already participating. It's important for you, let me go back here one more minute. It's important for you to do a very simple thing. See who they are. Find out who's already a member of the United Nations Global Compact in your own country, and then find out what those companies and organizations are. You may recognize one or more of them. It may be that you are already doing business with one or more of them, or you may even be an employee of one or more of them, or you may be able to let your organization establish a partnership with members of the United Nations Global Compact. I have to give you information that is important for you to understand. We're not asking your organization to join the United Nations Global Compact or to do anything other than join with WHOPE and let us be the voice, your voice at the United Nations Global Compact. But you don't need us. You can actually go to any of these businesses and be able to contact them directly. But again, I'm suggesting that we first get our own house in order. We first identify who we are, what our organization is, what service we're providing to impact one or more of the Sustainable Development Goals, what our plans are, and how we need their help to accomplish our goals and objectives. No one else can do that for us. It's up to us individually to decide how we're going to work and then make a commitment to work together to accomplish these goals. Back to you, moderator.
Okay. Thank you once again, Ambassador Andrew, for everything. Today is a full pack of information for us. Okay. And I'm sure that we're going to follow up and do exactly what is needed of us to do. Okay. And besides, please, I do not want our coming here just to be ceremonial. Okay. Please, we need to be active in these things, in doing these things, in following up. Even I myself, I'm going to start thinking of where to fit myself in, okay, in order to be able to, contribute to this cause. All right, so I'm going to quickly, we're rounding up the program now. I don't know if anybody also have questions to add to what Mr. Okeke already asked for. If there are no questions, I'll just then go ahead to call the names of those who are present here today. Okay, so please pardon me wherever you are. Once I call your name, please just unmute yourself and let me know you're here, and then mute yourself back, okay? Please unmute yourself so I will know you're here, and then mute yourselves back. Right, okay, so I'm going to do this now. Okay, so I hope everybody can hear me. So let me start with Olubode Busayo.
Hi, present.
Thank you. Right. Just mute yourself. Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Yeah, thank you. I got that.
Yeah.
Okay. Donald Iyadegbe. Donald Iyadegbe, sorry. Iyadegbe. Please pardon the pronunciation. Thank you.
Yes, I'm present from Kenya.
All right, thank you. Umoru Benedict David.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right,
Good afternoon.
good. Good afternoon. Akintayo Fumilayo. Akintayo Fumilayo. Is she here? Because I'm sure she's here. Akintayo Fumilayo. Okay, I want to believe she's here, but then we can't hear you, Akintayo Fumilayo. Okay, so let me go to the next person. Albert Njwanda. Albert, you were here yesterday.
Present.
All right, all right. Aramulate Alex. Please pardon my pronunciation. All right. Aremu Sunday Bankole.
I'm with you, ma. Present, ma.
All right, thank you. Blessing.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, who is the person talking?
I'm Akitayo from sorry, I'm so sorry. I forgotten I connected to my AirPods. I'm sorry.
Okay, taken. That's noted. All right, taken. Noted. Okay, Olubode Busayo, I think we've done that. Umoru Benedict, I think we've Blessing Egbe, yes, I think we've taken Blessing Egbe. Blessing Egbe, are you here? Blessing Egbe, are you here? Okay, Blessing Egbe seems not to be here. Okay, Dilama Beatrice, back. Are you here?
I'm with
All
you,
right,
ma.
Sure, thank you. Don Maurizio Blas. Don Maurizio Blas, are you here? Okay, Don Maurizio Blas is not responding yet. Okay, making the two persons now. Donald Iyadege. Have I called Donald Iyadege Michwe?
Yes, you called me. I'm present.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Doris Kamagara, sorry. Doris Kamagara, are you here? Doris, are you here? Okay, thank you. I think I've called Emmanuel Etu. Did I call Emmanuel Etu? Festus Obagu. Are you here? Festus Obagu, Are you here? All right, thank you. Glory.
Present.
All right, Glory Azuka Isiaku, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hamza Auta Muhammad, are you here?
I'm here. I'm here.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Josephine Ishola, are you here? Josephine Ishola, are you here?
Yes, present. I'm here.
All right, thank you. Justin Nathaniel, are you here? Justin Nathaniel, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Casimire Jida, are you here? Casimire Jida, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
Okay. Ogochukwu Ebaleme, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
All right.
Hello.
Good.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
I heard you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Gabriel. Okay, Gabriel was the one that asked the question. I'm sure he's still here. Right? Okay, with us. No, have I called Olubode Busayo?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, Gabriel, I'm here.
All right, thank you. Have I called
You've called Olubode Busayo.
Okay, thank you. Oluwa Olumeyo, have I called? Oluwa Olumeyo, have I called?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Oyenike Arigba Bua, have I called? Arigba Buo.
I'm here. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. For the presentation. Oyewusi Victor Adeyemi. Oyewusi Victor Adeyemi.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Yeah, ma.
Okay, thank you. Peace Nnamezi. Peace Nnamezi. Peace Nnamezi. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon. If you can hear me, good afternoon. I'm here.
All right, good afternoon. Okay, so that's all the names I've got. If I haven't called your name, please just let us know by saying hi, hello, you're here. If I've not called your name, let me know.
This is Leslie.
Okay, thank you. I think I called Besnegbe, but then thank you for registering yourself. Okay, so I think
you have not called Emmanuel. Emmanuel.
Etu?
Yes.
Yes, I did. I called Emmanuel Etu. Okay. So thank you very much, everybody, for this wonderful participation. Okay. Please, I want you guys to come tomorrow well prepared. Uba's hand is up. Uba Audi. Please, if you have anything to say, Uba, please unmute yourself.
Sorry, I've not heard my name. I've not heard my name.
Okay.
Sorry, I've not heard my name.
I've not heard my name. Yes. I think there are a number of persons that have not heard my name, which part of that. Thank you.
Please, who is talking? Albert.
Uba Macaulay, I've not heard my name too.
Okay. Uba Macaulay. Okay. I didn't see Uba Macaulay here. Oh, I'm just seeing Uba Macaulay. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't see that before. Okay. And CD Elizabeth. Am I correct?
Yes, I'm here.
And then there's another CD, Esther.
I'm here.
Okay. Right. Thank you, guys.
Not had
All right. Please, I just want you guys to know
I've
that
not heard my name.
everybody who is here, we know that you're here, okay? We know that you're here, but we just want to ensure that you're actually actively here, because some will just log in and walk away, right? So we want to be sure that you're actively here, meaning that you're actually following the program, you're taking note of everything, okay? You're not just after the certification, you're not just after you getting the certificate, okay? But then you're also after the action part of it, where you need to act, okay? And your responses too. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you've all put down your names and your phone numbers and your email addresses in the chat room. All right, so let me quickly call the attention of Chaplain James to see if he has anything to say.
I've not heard my name, please.
Who?
Komalafe Peter Shire.
Okay, taking. Thank you, Mr. Komalafe.
Komalafe,
Okay.
that's what you did yesterday too. Only you. You will not hear your name. You will call your name by yourself. Thank God that you have marked the register again today. That's lovely. Greetings, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here again. I think we also had a beautiful time out today. Reverend Don Bloy. Bloy is Maurizio from Italy. Good to see you. Good to see you. We have been calling you severally. I know you didn't really understand English, but you'll be catching up with it. Or can you, if you understand me at all, can you just unmute yourself and speak in your dialect to greet everyone? Don Blois, can you greet everyone? Say something, greet everyone, say something, talk, greet. Reverend Don Blois. Yes, Greetings. Talk. Okay. We just wanted to say something. Yes, he's a Reverend Father from Italy. He has been always present here with us in this program. Very quickly, let me say thank you to the moderator. She has been so wonderfully performing excellently well yesterday, today as well. Don't worry, our dear moderator will soon be taking you to US, UK for graduation and things like that. Thank you for being there for us. And I want to say thank you to His Excellency Ambassador Andrew Jr. for the lecture, the orientation, the empowerment, enlightenment you have been giving us since last week. This is another session. 4 days. We have started yesterday, today. It will continue tomorrow and Thursday. We want to say thank you for your contributions, and these are not taken for granted. We really appreciate you. And every participant joining us, you are all wonderful. You are all wonderful. I would like to ask today what you have learned, because yesterday when we asked, some of you just mute your camera, doing whatever you like. When it is time for roll call or register to be called, you all come alive. Yes, I'm here because of certification. So we would like to hear from 1 or 2 persons to know if truly you are here with us or if truly you are part of this program. And that is what I will do now. Can I leave that to the moderator? I don't know where moderator is. Maybe she has gone to drink water or Coca-Cola. Okay. Let me quickly call 1 or 2 persons. Oh, wow, beautiful moderator. Would you like to call them one after the other to hear from them what they have learned in today's class? I want you to call Peace first. Peace.
Okay. Right. I've tried to do that, but at least we got a response from someone who asked a very intelligent question. Okay, so let's try that again now, because really, guys, I told you that participation is an assurance that we're kind of encouraging our facilitators, making them understand that, or making them know that we are actually with them. We're taking note of everything they're saying. And it is until we understand all of these things before we can actually take action. Okay, so if we don't understand, how do we take action? So please, guys, your contribution is very key. Okay, we want to hear from you. What have you learned today? What did you learn today? For example, I can give you a hint. Remember the ambassador talked about 17 sustainability goals, that we can actually work towards in order to make, things better. So it's like an eye-opener, even if you don't know the goals or the aim of all of these things. With those 70 sustainability goals, you should be able to at least know where you fall, your capacity, where you can actually exercise your own little power in the little space you're given. So please, let's hear from you. What have you learned today?
Good afternoon, madam.
Pastor said we should start with peace. Peace. Chaplain, did you say peace?
Yes, I've mentioned her name, Peace. If she ran away, okay, she's here. She hasn't run away. Peace, let's hear from you. What do you have to say?
I cannot stop laughing because the way you mentioned my name.
Yes.
The way you mentioned my name, it was as if you've been waiting for me to talk since.
Yes,
but
yes,
anyway, I really appreciate this.
Okay, I see you have some people in mind. I'll still mention their names. Let's hear from you first.
I still have, like I said, I really appreciate everybody, even from Andrew, from you, Chaplain. A lot of things though have been learned lately, and then how to, be of help, and then peacekeeping too. That one too, because the major also this is peace and can you hear me?
We can hear you. You are the one to concentrate here. Please, I know you are not concentrating. You have so many things you are doing, and that's why you could not on your camera. So, if your heart is being diverted, you will not concentrate on what we're doing here. Are you still here with us, or you have gone to do another thing? Please.
Ambassador James Kasimiri Jida.
Please. Is there raising up a hand?
You have a hand raised, Ambassador.
Jida? She didn't wait for her name to be called or mentioned. Kasmira Jida, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Thank you very much,
Please, can you mute this? Please mute that piece. Mute, please.
She is muted, please. She forgot that she unmuted himself. All what she said will be used against her in the court of law. No problem. Please go ahead, Kasmira.
Okay, Dr. Williams, Honorable Williams, James, I'm so grateful and I'm privileged to be part of this this program that is going on currently. So thankful for Chaplain James. I love the work you guys are really doing, and I'm so excited again to be part of this program. I was so excited last time when I achieved the certificate, and I was like, no, I have to be part of this event whenever it will be taking place. Well, to today's topic, from the Sustainable Development Goals, I really like so much goal number 3 and goal number 4. That's talking about good health and wellness and also quality education. Now, when you look at those two things, actually, especially now when you come here in Uganda, I've got a time whereby I have visited hospitals whereby you find people are in great pain. People are, some of them are suffering, they are lying on verandas, they're calling out for maybe help, but there is nowhere that someone can be able to help them. Now, I think with this organization, with the different trainings that we are getting out, somehow you can find a way to touch someone's life, to reach out to someone's life, and probably they will be very, very happy. Education is very important, reason being, knowledge is power. When you learn something, you find that you can be able to put it in practice, and probably one or the other, you are able to implement something, and maybe you come out with a very good idea that is helping the society, not only you, but also people around yourself. So I'm very grateful for those two sustainable development goals. I'm thinking that if I am to be involved in any of the act, especially when it comes to these goals, my emphasis will be part of health and also education, because I want to see young people go to school. I want to see young people excel in education. I want to see people having good health. I want to see people learn how they can promote good health right away from their homes to the community where they are staying, and probably maybe anywhere else they'll be able to reach out. So I'm very thankful and so excited for the program. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Chaplain James. Thank you, Honorable James Williams, and our moderator.
Well, thank you very much. I do want to let you know that, again, it's very simple to go to the UN Global Compact and type in Uganda. You'll find that there is AgriCare Uganda Unlimited that is a member of the United Nations, and they just joined on August 29th of 2023. It's up to you to take the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, number 29, responsibility, and you can do the work to find out what is already happening in your local area. For example, this company here, just using this as an example, every organization has to register online what they call their letter of commitment to the United Nations Global Compact and those 10 principles. It's up to you to contact them and let them know that you're holding them accountable for what they're doing, and then let them know what your organization is doing that aligns itself with what their goals and objectives are. You have to do the homework. These workshops are only to give you tools and resources to put to use, but it's up to you to take it to the next step. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's a good one. Ambassador Andrew, I think we have to make them understand maybe tomorrow on the registration they have to make if any one of them is running any NGO, at least to fill that form in collation for database for the United Nations Global Compact, which the mandate has been given to Saga Foundation to do. So we can use this medium as well to collect names and NGOs in Africa and beyond for the United Nations Global Compact. So a link is going to be shared where you can easily fill the form and all the rest. So thank you, Ambassador Andrew, for that enlightenment to Uganda, and not just Uganda, Kenya, other African countries that are here. You're also welcome to WHOPE and to other international organizations of the United Nations Global Compact. And we are doing our best to train every individual organizations. This is what we're not doing best, because we believe knowledge is power. What you don't know, you can't just jump into it. And once you jump into it, you will get a Waterloo disappointment. But when you know it better, you can get in there and do things better, do things in the right way. And more so, this training is to empower you to work in your various organizations or as volunteers. Because some people, they will just want to have an organization, but they will not understand how to go about it or what is it to have an organization. That's why we are doing this. And this is all we could do for you. It's not left to you to develop yourself. As you can see, Ambassador Andrew has gone to he has used different materials for you, different websites, different links, at least to build your interest and to develop your passion for these sustainable development goals. By now, you should be able to say, yes, my organization, we are into this area of the sustainable development goals. Maybe it's goal 1, maybe goal 2, goal 3. You should be able to say, this is what we do, and this area will fall. But if you're unable to do that, that means you have not learned anything from here. And that's what we are trying to know from every one of you. What have you learned? What ideas have you gathered from here? Then what is the way forward? What would you like to do after this training? What is the advancement? So you should know what we are talking about and why we are asking questions. Your Excellency?
Yes, thank you so much. You made a very important point. And I do see a hand raised by Emmanuel E2. We'll get to you in just a moment, sir. But please let me share my screen.
Okay.
The Saga Foundation is based in Lagos, Nigeria. Ambassador James is one of their international advisors. I know that because I'm the chairperson of the Saga Foundation International Advisory Board. So WHOPE and Saga have been working very closely together since 2020 to find ways we can help address this situation. We have on the Saga website now this forum. We'll also be sharing it with all of you. There have been major upheavals in the organizational function of the United Nations Global Compact. Up until last year, any nonprofit organization could join at no cost, free of charge. Now there is a minimum charge. That's why I'm not asking you to have your organization to pay money to join. What I'm asking you is to find out those existing organizations. Excuse me, just a moment, please. This is Janice De Silva, our co-moderator. Janice, I'm still on the Zoom. I'm going to tell everyone you say hello, but I'll have to call you back in just a moment. Okay. That's Ambassador Janice De Silva. She gives you her greetings. She's in Cabo Verde and working, but she did want to convey to you her love. But on the web, on your screen, you see that we put together a form called the Sustainable Development Goals NGO Registration Form. This is available on the SAGA website, but we'll also make sure your organization gets it. But understand what the information that we're needing is to have the name of your NGO, the registration details, because we're only working with registered organizations that are credible. We all know that there is an issue of corruption and anti-corruption. We want to be very transparent. So we want every organization to include their registration number so we can check and make sure you are a registered organization. Then we need to know who in your organization is responsible for the management. If that's one person, a CEO, that's fine. But if you have a truly functioning organization, you have more than one person, you have a board of directors, we need to know who the management team is. But the most important item on this entire list is the area of your sustainable development goal focus. I know that many of you are involved with more than one of the goals, but we need you to choose one, because the idea is that we're going to align those that have the same one of the 17 sustainable development goals. You can only be in one group. You may have more interests, but you can only be in one group, because we're going to put that group together and then represent all those people that have the main interest in that one sustainable development goal. On this website or on this form, you'll also need to know what your organization address is. We want to put together a map to show where we are, because then you can reach out to people that are close to you, and we'll know where we can have to expand where we don't have any places there in that area. We'll need to include your website. In order for us to participate, you can include your website, but that can be free. You can set up your free website online using Wix or other tools and resources. We'll help you with that. Or we can include a page of your organization on our website as our partner, so that when people come to WHOPE and they look under partners, if you don't have your own website, at least you can become identified with us. So the important thing about this is that at the end of the day, we're going to have to be able to find a way to hold you accountable for what you claim you want to do and are doing. We want you to send us pictures and photos and videos of work that you're doing in your community that impacts one or more of the sustainable development goals. Even though there are over 24,000 members of the UN Global Compact right now today, over 15,000 have been suspended because they did not do a simple thing and show how what they're doing actually is impacting one or more of the sustainable development goals. So I'll turn it back over to you, Pastor James. I see we have Emmanuel Itu had his hand raised, and then Gabriel Okiki. So I'll turn it back over to you, Pastor. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Is Gabriel Okeke raising hands in regard of what Ambassador Andrew have said? Gabriel Okeke,
first,
I'm talking about what I have learned from the training to discussion today. No, with regards to the questions I asked previously and the response of the Honorable Ambassador, So from that, I want to learn how we can go about presenting our issues, pressing our demands home to the government and our leaders. So I was talking about us collaborating, having a kind of collaboration with maybe similar agencies like ours, organizations like ours, collaborating with them to be able to press our demands home. So I think it's it's a good idea and good idea for us to do. To begin to look out for similar organizations like ours and then collaborate with them and then see our demand. For instance, like in the case of the minimum wage, we know that the minimum wage we are currently receiving in Nigeria is far below poverty line. So a dollar as a benchmark, what we are earning currently as minimum wage is below $1 per day. So we can start from there, collaborate with other agencies, and then start putting it. It really means carrying placards, and then be going to the ministry and the important pieces of government.
I muted that person. As I said to you, Emmanuel Itu had his hand raised first. We will give him the respect of allowing him to address that issue. This workshop will not be addressing the issues that Gabriel brought up. We're dealing specifically with the United Nations Global Compact and the Sustainable Development Goals. Emmanuel Itu, over to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Andrew Williams Jr. I'll make this speech as quickly as possible. First, I want to appreciate the knowledge that you have given us concerning these development goals, and God will continue to enrich you with wisdom. I want to also speak on goals number 3, which deals with health. How do we impact, our community, our state, our nation? I also want to acknowledge Chaplain James Mercy, who actually certified me as an humanitarian 3-4 years ago in Abuja. Thank you for all you do. Our government, especially in Nigeria, if you look at the period of COVID, there was a lot of exposure that our government are not doing well in the area of health. And we can, from what you've taught us in this program, we are well educated that we can create a lot of impact. I still want to go back to Chaplain James, who also is displaying this impartation. Like I was privileged to watch online the health outreach program that his organization did. I am the chairperson of an NGO who has been in operation since 2009, and I really confess here that the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity have gotten more than 4 or 5 certificates, and each of the programs has opened my eyes to the work you can do as an humanitarian and as an operator of an NGO. So we want to really thank you. This is just a remark. We want to thank you, Andrew Williams Jr. Your education that you've given us is very impactful, and we will go on board and really do much as we can to impact the whole world. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. I want to direct your attention to the publication that we discussed last week, and it addresses each of the Sustainable Development Goals. You mentioned number 3, which is good health and well-being. It does provide a guideline for your organization to find ways that you can actually address this issue. Just as a backgrounder, for those that you can't read it, SDG number 3 is about good health and well-being. And the focus is on every child witnessing his or her 5th birthday, reduce the number of people suffering from mental illness by a third, and the epidemic of AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, and other diseases, strengthen the prevention and treatment of drug and alcohol abuse, significantly reduce the number of deaths from accidents, provide universal access to sexual and reproductive health, and ensure equal and fair access to medicine for all. But in this booklet, there are ways that provides you with guidelines that you individually can address these issues, and also your organization. This booklet is available to everyone that registered with us last week and this week. So if you have your email address, we will be providing you this information. It addresses not only SDG number 3, SDG number 4, but all 17 of the goals. So this will be a handy guide for you to be able to use for your own local activities. Thank you. Back to you, Pastor James. And if Pastor James is not there, now's the time to raise your hands for any final comments or questions about the topic. Oh, there you are.
Go ahead, Mr. Andrew, go ahead. I don't have anything to say for now. Go ahead with what you're saying.
Oh, no, I'm just closing out. It's time to wrap this up, Pastor James. I'm turning it back over to you.
Okay. And just to thank everyone for joining. It has been a wonderful day today. Thank you, everyone. And also, with the same time, same link, same station, on tomorrow and next tomorrow, we'll still be meeting together here until last day when we're going to have the last one and the certificate. And more so, training continues. We'll be announcing that to you. Training continues. And also we have partnered with the Institute for Humanitarian Studies and Social Development. Please, I want you to listen to me. Mr. Audi, you are not sitting down to listen. World Humanitarian Organization has gone in partnership with IHSD, Institute for Humanitarian Studies and Social Development. They have their proficiency course for 4 days, which takes about 55,000 naira for each person for that course. But we have made partnership with them for any volunteer that will be coming from us to train in Institute for Humanitarian Studies and Social Development. So for each person to pay 20,000 naira for certification. You have to be certified as humanitarian and also as NGO manager. So you are going to be taught on so many things about your organizations in that training that has to do with fundraising, community mobilization, community needs assessment, community advocacy, that has to do with humanitarianism, that has to do with volunteerism, that's going to do with peace and conflict resolution and things like that. So, and it takes just 4 days. It's a proficiency course. So when we get there, we'll let you know. When we're ready for that, we'll quickly put that on the platform to use that opportunity instead of going as a person to spend about $50. So we can make it happen in $20 with our partnership with that Humanitarian Institute for Social Development. And that's a good news for you. And also this Saturday in Ibadan, we are having a special program coming up in the University of Ibadan, the Department of Peace, Security, and Humanitarian Studies. And we have the students of that department here. As we did yesterday, we'll continue saying it, reminding you till the last day of this program as well. On Saturday, we'll be having that program in Ibadan. If you cannot be in Ibadan, you can join us online to watch the program. And it's going to be transmitted live through Andrew Networks on WHOPE Facebook platform. You can easily join to see what is going on. And yet they still need support to put that program together. because they've written to so many schools. The program is all about the United Nations International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women and Children, girls. You understand what we're talking about? So we get to involve schools, secondary schools, to be part of it. And we're still looking for partners, donors, support. At least we need to share souvenir and things like that to the students. And they are going to eat as well. Don't forget, these are students putting this together, so they need our support. Whatever you can support us. Reverend Don Blois, if you can't hear me, maybe I will text you. The program will need support to make things happen. The children must eat. Then there will be souvenir for people that will be coming. Distinguished humanitarian Etu, you will not say you are an Adegbule, it doesn't concern you. It concerns everybody here. We must see what we can do. Yes, no amount is small, at least to make sure the pupils, the children, learners we are inviting eat in that program. So we need your support. And however you want to go about it, please, you can still get in touch with us and let's see how it goes. I would like somebody again from that department to say something here. I don't know. Who is here from that department to quickly say something about the program? Anyone, 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 apart from the moderator. Exclude the moderator because I know she's part of that. Anyone from the University of Ibadan, Peace, Security, and Humanitarian Department, either you are running your master's or your PhD. The door is open to you to quickly talk about the program. That's what they did yesterday. They all ran away when it's time to talk. You have done the same thing. So you have not been taught not to be shy when it comes to public. And so many of you, you can talk when gossiping. Anyone from, okay, if there's no one, who is that?
My name is Akitaya from Laya, sir.
I remember you are one of the committee, and yesterday you failed to talk. If possible, let's see your face and talk about the program you are having on Saturday.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Tell us what the program about.
Good afternoon, everybody. Like Chaplain rightly said, the program is about elimination of the International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls. And we decided to go with secondary school students because it's no adult grows up to be who they are. It starts from the young age, starts from the stage of them seeing things around. But if we as a person can start from their young days, from secondary school stages, and curb some of the attitudes, some of the negative things they see in the culture, and tell them, oh, these things you see that are happening in your homes, that are happening in your society are actually bad. They're actually bad. I feel like when they grow up to be adults, it will help reduce the level of violence against women and girls. And we decided to go with both gender and not just go with the girls because violence affects both girls and boys. In some situations, the violence against girls are done by the boys. And in some situations, the boys can eventually be the ones that protect the women against the violence. So that's why we decided to make sure we made the program gender sensitive and both boys and girls will be invited. And we included them in the program by saying, oh, you guys are going to be coming for a debate. We made a debate topic for them, gave the schools their topic and what they are going to be saying. Just for them to be included in the topic, and they themselves can make research about it before speakers come and give them come and teach them what the topic is about. So the program is on Saturday, just to celebrate the International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women. Thank you, sir.
Praise God, she talks today. And that's quite wonderful. All right, we have all heard that. Let's see what we can do to be there if I know your state. Pastor Umaru, you can hear that. You are in Ibadan. Nothing stops you attending that program. you are invited. Nothing stops you inviting that program. That is part of why we are humanitarians, volunteers with WHOPE. So you are invited, and nothing stops you from voluntarily contributing, supporting the program. Nothing stops you for supporting the program. This is part of achievement. This is part of what we should be expecting or happy to do. It's happening in your state. This is not Lagos State. Now, if it is Lagos State, you'll be telling me the traffic in Bega, the traffic in Long Bridge. There's no Long Bridge, there's no Bega here now. So go to the UI and be part of that program and get to us how you are going to support that program. So thank you everyone for joining us and being part of this program. We love you and we really appreciate all what you have been doing and being with us. Over to you, moderator, Lanidol, and for Honorable Andrews to close it out. So thank you. Over to you, moderator.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. I want to say a big thank you to the facilitator for today and for yesterday, Honorable Ambassador Andrew. We're really grateful for all the learnings, all the teachings, all the eye-opening talks. Like I said yesterday, these are actually tips that are soul awakening, and we cannot quantify it. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. Chaplain James, we are so grateful for having you, for organizing this special workshop for us, especially for we here in Nigeria, for giving us the opportunity to even partake and have this kind of platform. It's really great for us, and I just hope and I wish that a lot more of people can come or attend this kind of workshop, which is really beneficial to us as individuals, as a community, as a whole. Thank you all the participants for your participation, for paying so much attention, for all the questions you asked, and it was really great and wonderful. We have come to the end of the program, and we hope you have a very wonderful evening. And then we hope to see you tomorrow. Get ready to participate even more tomorrow and to learn even better tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. It's time to go. My name is Oyekule Elizabeth once again, and I'm very glad and honored to do this. Have a lovely day, evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.